Good morning to
Okay.
one and all from Cowism. I'm Shivali Miglani, and today I'm honored to be joined by Dr. Purushottam Sharma, who is the principal scientist and the head of the Social Sciences Division of the Indian Council of Agriculture Research. And a part of that is the Indian Grassland and Fodder Research Institute, Jhansi. So, thank you for taking out time today to speak to us,
Welcome, madam. Thank you, madam.
and welcome to the show. Could you give us some background about, how you ended up in such a prestigious institute? What did you study? And, then we'll go about asking you about the subject of fodder management and grasslands.
Okay. Basically, madam, I am graduate in agriculture science from Rajasthan Agriculture University, and
Okay.
then MSc and PhD from National Dairy Research Institute, Karnal.
Ji.
And thereafter, I joined Agriculture Research Service of Indian Council of Agriculture Research, and I
Ji.
was posted at Indian Grassland and Fodder Research Institute. So
Okay.
this research, we call it IGFRI in brief.
Ji.
So this is one of the only institute in India, and not only in India, in Southeast Asia also. So the mandate is exclusively on grasses and fodder crops, especially for the animals, for the domestic animals.
Ji.
So that institute, and this institute is having four centers in different agroclimates. One center in south, it is located at Dharwad, Karnataka. Another
Ji.
center in for Rajasthan is climate of semi-arid type climate that is near Jaipur, Avikanagar.
Ji.
One center for temperate conditions, it is located at Srinagar, Jammu Kashmir, and
Okay.
sub-temperate conditions, it is located at Palampur. So that way, all India basis multi-location trials and research are done. And besides this, we have network of 22 agriculture universities also who participate in our research programs.
Ji. Ji. That is so wonderful to know that such a unique institution exists in our country because India has always been a pastoral country with a lot of emphasis on livestock. And those are the reasons why we have such fertile and arable lands. So really great to know. Coming to the first question that I have is about if you could tell us the importance of grasslands and the diverse fodders which are required to feed to our cows. It will be really helpful for people who are rearing cows to understand this.
So we have seven divisions at our institutes which deal with different aspects of the grassland and fodder research, that is crop improvement, production, silvi-pasture, plant-animal relationship, farm machinery, social science, and seed technology. And there are four regional stations located at Avikanagar, Dharwad, Palampur, and Srinagar. So basically, madam, if you will see at all India level, there is a deficit of the fodder for the animals. Animal feed and fodder are basically of three types: dry fodder, green fodder, and concentrates. So at present we are having deficit of around 12% in dry and 30% in green. And but we expect that over the year the green fodder cultivation will pick up and that deficit will be reduced. Problem is that very limited area of our cultivated land, that is around 4 to 5%, is devoted to the fodder production. Yeah. So, and the area under grasslands is about 12 million hectare. Yeah. And There is another area of wasteland and degraded soils, that is 49 million hectare, which can be used for further resource availability. And what I think that this crop is competing with other cash crops, so the increasing area is very very difficult. In that case, the only option with us is to increase the per unit productivity. And for that, there are various type of options are available with us. For example, most common option is cultivated fodder, means the forage which are grown on the cultivable areas, cultivable lands. And there are various systems for the means that this include the seasonal crops, this include the relay cropping, overlapping cropping, intensive cropping system, means in intensive we take three crops per year in every season. We can have mixed cropping also with another cash crop. We can have intercrop also, and we can have perennial cropping also. In this, one crop can continue for several years. And based on that system, there are year-round forage production systems. Means through that basis, you will ensure round-the-year green fodder production. And that system is basically different for intensive, means cultivated and irrigated conditions, and another system for rain-fed conditions, means where the moisture conditions are limited. Other than that, there are certain other options also for various rain-fed conditions. And we have strategies to meet the summer fodder deficit, especially since there is moisture deficit during the summer period. And during that period, certain strategies are to be followed to meet the requirement. This is all these options are for the cultivated area. Then comes the uh, degraded and less useful soil groups, and for that group we use pastures and grasslands, horticulture systems, and further degraded land is there. Then another options are available. Besides this, these are the production options. Then comes whatever the fodder we have, how to store it, how to densify it, how to enrich its nutritive value, and how to conserve it. Right? Other than then, next option comes the non-conventional fodder resources. Means there are certain sources which are not in system but can be good source of nutrient for the livestock. Regarding cultivated resources, you say these sources you can define based on the season. Means rainy season, kharif season, then winter season, rabi season, and summer season, jaid season. This is a classification based on the season of cultivation. Next classification, you can have type of the fodder, means it is legume fodder or cereal or grass type fodder. The general recommendation for livestock feeding is that you need to have both legume fodder as well as grass or cereal group fodder. है ना? So here you will see that this berseem different. These are the different varieties of the berseem developed at the institute. This is very good legume fodder during the winter season. At the same time, you will see this oat. There are different oat varieties. Bundelot 2010, Bundelot 2004, 2004, Bundelot 2012-2, and several more varieties are available. This is very good cereal fodder So the general recommendation will be to feed barsi and oat. These, this guinea grass, this is perennial fodder. This is, means once you plant it for several years, it will give round the year fodder supply. Then there are cultivar varieties of the bajra. For bajra is grown for human consumption as well as for animal consumption. For animal consumption, it is used for dry fodder as well as green fodder. So this variety is for bajra for green. Then these are the options during the rainy season. Bajra, guar. Guar is very important legume crop which can be grown where the moisture is less. Again, this is a perennial grass, onion grass, in the which can be grown in the less cultivated, less cultivated area means relatively poor type of the soils. This bundellovia, this is again rabi season means rainy season crop, and this is legume crop. So again, during the rainy season, that is the Kharif season, the combination will be lobia with anjan, guinea, napier, bajra, sorghum, anything. Same is used for vegetable cultivation, but there are certain varieties which you can use for livestock consumption also. Like guinea grass, these are the two very important varieties of 5J5. This is Bajra Napier hybrid, BN hybrid. This also perennial crop. Once you plant it for several years, it will provide round the year fodder production. But again, the rule is that with these perennial grass, you need to have guar or lobia, which are legume. Based on that crops I discussed in previous slide, one of the important system for the production system for irrigated land is perennial grass-based fodder production system. In this, the major component is this rose of the Napier, hybrid Napier. This component which you are seeing in the tall rose, this component is perennial source means for multi-year it will be providing you fodder. And in between these two rows, the intercrop is of cowpea. In rainy season, this crop will be replaced with barsim in winter season and again cowpea in the summer season. So this intercrop is legume. This combination of grass and legume can give you up to 3 3,000 quintals per hectare fodder. This system is very good system both for the soil to improve the nutritive fertility of the soil as well as it provide the balanced ration to the animal because it have both the component of legume and cereal grasses and this can be adopted in whole of the India and it can support up to A7, 8, 10 ACUs. So wherever you have proper irrigation and land quality is better, then this system is the most recommended system. If the water shortage is there, then this again perennial system is again there. In this, the perennial component is changed. Perennial component is a bush of subabul, this is a leguminous bush, and then tri-specific hybrid, TSH hybrid, sorghum fodder, and in between there is again a pulse crop. So this system fulfills the need of livestock as well as you can have certain pulsage for human consumption also. But again, since it is a rain-fed system, here the production potential is relatively less compared to the previously discussed systems. Sorghum is one of the very uh, highly means most used fodder crop in India, and in North India it is grown in summer and rainy season, and it's a very popular fodder crop. This is the fields of the Barsim. So the normal this crop is grown in the winter season. In this is more popular in the North India, and in South India its equivalent is Lusar. Lucerne is more popular in South India, and this is the system which I was discussing. This interrow legume versi with interrow with the perennial grass that can be an hybrid or guinea grass. The seed production stage of the Barsi. This crop we discussed earlier. This is very good and highly nutritious cereal fodder grown during the winter season. And the usual practice is feeding this oat crop with the bursi. This its grain is also used for the human consumption, and in even if it is surplus, we can dry it, and it's provide very good dry fodder also. These are different varieties of the oat grown. This crop is just similar in looking to the wheat. Another crop during the winter season is grass pea. This is a legume crop, and it's the requirement of water is very less in this crop. And if you will see, this crop need very less input in terms of fertilizers and soil preparation. Like it's very less input and legume crop. This is the usual practice. You are seeing the rows of the perennial grasses. This grass can most commonly used grass in this system is Bajra Napier hybrid and or guinea grass. And this interrow space is used for the legume fodder. This interrow you are seeing this cowpea on earlier side as you see in Bursi, and then in rainy season, in this same space, you can use cowpea. This is the full-grown hybrid Napier crop. It's dense crop. It's densely. It's very profuse, very good fodder yielding crop. So these were the some of the options which we can follow on the cultivated land. Then another category of land is the non-arable land means that land which is relatively less suitable or not suitable for taking the crop condition. Maybe degraded land or hilly land or like this. So, and that land can be suitably used with the certain technological intervention, and that can be very good source of the fodder. And on this type of the land, the most important option, one of the very good option can be the horticulture system. You are seeing here, these are the rows of the fruit plants. Generally, the fruit plants used for this are the plants which have wider row spaces, and their canopy is less dense so that some light penetrated to the grass. So amla is one of the popular tree in this system. Guava is one of another option. Yeah. And that in certain tamarind can also be used. Bale can also be used. where can also be used. Several options are there. And this interrow space is used for the grasses. This grass have combination of Sankras, Dinanath, Guinea, or along with the legume component that is the Stylosanthes. So here you can enhance the utility of the land. Another important system is the silvi-pasture system. In that silvi-pasture system, the tree component is basically multi-purpose tree type crop. And in between row space, we use the grass and legume combination. This system we can have this you are seeing here the two-tier system. We can have it three-tier system also. So along the first tier is tree, it's followed by the bushes, and at third level there are the combination of grasses. So this system is called silvi-pasture system, and the tree component used here is multi-purpose tree species, that is for timber, for the fodder, and for the fuel wood. So based on these systems, we can also design the round the year fodder production system. And initially, we discussed the fodder production system using the crops. But here, this system, you can have fodder through trees and grass combination also. है ना? So, during the January to June period, the tree component provide the fodder. During February to April, the shrub component provide the fodder, and during the rainy season, and that is up to July to December, this grass component provide the fodder. This system you can use for grazing, for the cut and carry, and for the storage also. Here that systems you will see the here the carrying capacity increased to 2 to 3 animal per hectare, and they are the very suitable system for the semi-arid type climate and tropical type of the climate where there is moisture deficit. These were the pasture, and another technology is the grassland development. Grassland, you are seeing this site at our institute. This is the before development picture, and this is the after development picture. So before development, the carrying capacity of that piece of land was zero point 0.5, and after this development, this increased almost 4 times to 2 SU per hectare. And the intervention is very simple. This grassland was developed using the grass of Anjan, Dhaman, Dhavlu, Sen, Lampa, Pulkara, Stelo, Criteria, and Siratu. So in this, these three component, Stylo, Clitoria, and Serato are legume component, and these are the grass components. So here again the same principle is being followed. That is the combination of grass and legume.
So, one question for that. Did you have
Yes,
to
sir.
plow the land and then disperse the seeds, or how did you go about the actual improvement? What were the steps taken?
Madam, since these are the perennial component, so before means start, it's better to plow. If your land is rocky, in
Yes.
that case you will see at certain there are certain patches of the soil. So that part we can plow, and if it land is even, then whole land can be plowed. So it will be better first to plow that land and then do seeding.
Okay. And also, which season do you usually undertake this activity?
And the best season is, madam, before onset of the rainy season.
Right, right. And
Means,
are these systems where planned grazing also happens?
Yeah, you can plan grazing also on that, but you give certain time to initial for their initial development and seed setting.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, got it.
So for this activity, that most best period will be that is last week of the June in North India, and in South you can prepone it since here the that rainfall starts in first week of June itself. You know? So we can proceed.
Good. Yes, sir.
And these are the same option you can try in the temperate condition also if you have certain centers during temperate conditions also. So the principles is same. The component the species will be changed. In that tree component will be almonds, apples, you know, and the grass hedge will be that ryegrass, tall fescue, clovers. They will be means, but principle remains the same. Tree along with the combination of the grass hedge. Earlier slide you saw the almond based. Now this is apple based pasture. They are very popular system in that hill region, and our center at Srinagar is popularizing these systems in that Himalayan region. Various vegetation combination. These grasses are not available in this arid and semi-arid condition. They are specific grasses for the temperate condition. In southern part at a Dharwad center in Karnataka, our scientists have trying to grow mango, this horticulture system in using the tree component that is mango or sapota and this guinea grass. And so that system, since here you will see the interrow space among the tree component is quite high, and this interrow space can be very well used for the fodder component. The benefit will be that you will get double income, and besides this, the soil properties will be greatly improved since these grasses will enhance the microbial activity in the soil ecosystem, and over the year these grasses will turn this rocky soil into a cultivable soil. This we have seen at our institute also. So
Okay.
these are the system prevalent during the means in the southern part of India.
This is wonderful. We think, grasses are not such an important thing, but really it is the one which is helping improve our soil and, of course, feed the cows and our livestock.
No matter you say grass have such a wonderful property since in the root system of the grasses several type of microorganisms and insects are found, and they improve that soil property at very faster rate, which through manual intervention you cannot do.
Cannot
So
do
grasses
exactly.
are for
The
soil.
workers, they are the free workers for us. We have to really
They
conserve
are.
our microbes.
And another property is that once you plant these grasses, even if you are not able to provide them some water or any for input, they will not die. They will become dormant, and whenever the rains start, they will again activate.
Yes, yes,
So their
yes,
survival instinct is very high.
yes, 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 yes.
Only thing is that we need to replace the existing grasses with the improved varieties. Some grasses you will found in orchards which are locally grown, but their production potential is very less. Only thing is that you need to introduce improved varieties, improved grasses, and that productivity will be quite enhanced.
Okay.
So we can skip it. This is what we have discussed regarding importance of
No, sir, that was
past.
important slide, sir. I think that was an important slide.
अच्छा
Yeah,
अच्छा
pastures and grasslands. Because that's our focus, right? Pastures.
अच्छा uh, actually you see we have about 12 million hectares the permanent pastures and besides this permanent pasture we have certain wastelands and fallow lands and fallow lands are again of two type, that is current fallow and permanent fallow. Current fallow means for some time the farmer doesn't take crop and leave it without crop, and permanent fallow are they are always left. So the issue is that these are the lands scattered in different parts of the country. In each village, a certain part of land is declared as pasture. Thing is that in that pasture, nobody take care of them. No care is taken. So what
Exactly.
happens that they are subjected to the overgrazing. Continuously, the animals are grazing, 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 and no seeding is being done on that. No reseeding is done.
Yes.
No protection is done. So
Yes.
that overgrazing is making that pastures useless. Means
Yes.
now the vegetation is very less. Means whatever the animal spend energy during walking kilometers and the in return the energy intake is very less.
Yes.
So the question is that we can improve these pasture land, and these pasture lands are very important, especially for the weaker section of the society, since they
Exactly.
doesn't have dedicated land for the fodder. So they will take their animal to these pastures, and we call it common property resources, है ना? And so if that pastures that will be in good condition, they can rear their animal properly.
Exactly.
So that
And people, I
uh,
think, have forgotten the art of grazing also. They are actually
that
letting, yeah,
we will I
we
will come
can,
to that aspect later on how to graze it. है ना?
yes, yes,
So variation of that is silvi-pasture system, which I discussed. So
yes,
again, this silvi-pasture system can also be used, and this is also very good technology. And you see, these the function of these technologies of pasture, grassland, silvi-pasture, and horticulture is more to the ecosystem than to the livestock. Ecosystem function is very high. Means they are the very good source of the carbon sequestration. Yeah.
exactly,
They are very good source of the technology for improving the soil properties. Then lot of microorganisms, insects are take shelter in the so the ecosystem function is very high for these technologies, and but we are not taking care of it, and it is being subjected to continuously and
overtake.
degraded, and in some state government these efforts has been initiated. For example, in this Uttar Pradesh government and Madhya Pradesh government, they have initiated efforts for the restoration of these pasture lands.
Excellent. That's very good news.
And as per the guidelines of the Ministry of Environment, the all mining companies and this coal mining or minerals mining company, actually they are the degrading these grassland areas and for their mines mining purpose. So they have been mandated to rehabilitate that land. Once they leave that site, they have been asked to devote certain amount of their resources to rehabilitate that land. So such type of the means companies or industries are also approaching us that help us in rehabilitation of that mining areas.
Mhm. Under their CSR activities, is it?
under their CSR activity. And
Okay.
since we are very less in number, so certain project we are also taking up. So for certain people, we are only advising like this,
Yes.
but we are
Yes.
contributing for that also. This
Yeah. Yeah.
horticulture aspect I have already discussed with you.
Yeah.
You see, through pasture, silvi-pasture technology, uh, the present fodder production is around 25 to 30 million ton per year, and the productivity is around 1 ton per hectare per year. है ना? But through suitable technological interventions, means what I said, that we can reseed it, we can introduce suitable species to that grassland, we can increase its production potential to 4 to 5 times. Besides this, we will be able to get top feed also and firewood also. So that is the potential of this technology. We can produce 4 to 5 times higher.
Right. Right. So, what are those technical interventions? Are those planned grazing or more than that? Any other methodology?
That the technological intervention first, we need to protect that area, and once we protect area, then we need to introduce the suitable grasses and their varieties.
Right.
And once that production need to be extended minimum to one cycle year. Once that grass establishes and it starts seed production, next year that seed will again regerminate. So, but what happens that we we have done seeding in certain areas, and immediately after that emergence of grasses, we leave it for the grazing.
That's not wrong.
So,
Yes.
when that grass is not able to establish and complete its cycle,
Right.
is able to complete its cycle and at least one season of seeding, if it is able to do, then
Right.
later on that grass, nobody will be able to eliminate that grass.
Right, right.
But
And
only that,
that's why, our grazers have to be trained, and the community has to come together and probably have
uh,
an institute for training, how to graze. That is the most important thing.
actually, and what you are saying, in certain grasslands, that community is managing it very well. For
Okay,
example, in Tamil Nadu, this Kangayam grassland belt, that community is managing itself. And that
okay.
grassland is surviving since so many years. In
Yeah,
Karnataka, so many grasslands community is managing. They
yeah.
have means they are managing in the sense they have controlled grazing. They have if they have not allowed that grazing, they are following the system of cut and carry. Means whatever you are able to carry, you can take, but don't introduce animal to this system. है ना? So that way, this is happening in certain areas that community is coming forward and managing their grasslands, and that grasslands are giving good production and surviving well also.
That's how it should be. Yes.
That So again, another you will see in India, another aspect of soil degradation, land degradation is that is several hectares of area are degraded by the ravines. We have problem of water and wind erosion in several parts of our country. We have problem of alkalinity and salinity, that is also in certain part of India, and that is also on rise also, means that area under alkalinity and salinity is also rising, and this rising alkalinity and salinity makes the soil less useful for the crop production. And our about 50 million hectare area is degraded due to mining activities. So lot of type of degradation, different type of degradation is being done in our land, and you will see that only less than 50% area of India is under the crop cultivation. What I was saying that ecological assessment function of that silvi-pasture and pasture technology. So first benefit will be that the fodder production potential will be enhanced to about 4 to 5 times in these degraded condition on the class 5 or 6 type of the soils where other cultivation is not possible. In that areas, using that suitable intervention, we can have huge production potential of 4 to 5 times, है ना? Another benefit can provide these our passes silviculture systems can be a good source of the firewood to our farmers. They can be used for the gauging also, and that can be used for the we can use the site for the seed production also for the grasses or for the trees. Yeah. So these are the technological terminology. We will skip it. So regarding that technological intervention, whatever I show you the systems, and these are the important species both for perennial grasses and annual grasses. है ना? So that combination of these species, depending on the area and soil conditions, is done. Another thing is that this legume component is essentially introduced in all these systems for soil health, for the livestock health. So various legume options are available with us, and these are some of the common leguminous options. But
They fix nitrogen in the soil, right, sir?
nitrogen fixation and this microbial activity.
Right.
Various type of these stuffs are available. We, we need to means that is the silviculture
So
system can be.
as part as part of the Gopashtami celebrations, as you know, we have you are celebrating Gopashtami as the National Day of Grazing. So
Mhm.
you know these seeds, if they can be made available, then a lot of people who are participating, they would like to make seed balls out of these and disperse them in different areas, either when they go for trekking or any other activities out of town. So that's what we have been
Every
planning.
that's a good activity you have planned. But for this season is not suitable for the grasses.
Yes, yes. No, but seed balls we will make and keep. They can be dispersed at the right time.
They can be that you can do. You know. So means and you I think you need to wait for few more months since we are doing this is the seeding stage of the grasses. You know.
Okay,
So we are doing seed collection at present.
okay,
So
okay.
after 1 or 2 months, that seed will be graded, cleaned, and then so thereafter at present you will not be able to
Got
get seed. You know.
Okay, okay.
Actually,
But good to
this is
know that your seeds, you are doing so much and all the seeds go and people ask you for the
seed,
seeds.
seed. We are doing grasses seed production. You know.
Okay,
And
okay,
there is a huge demand for that, and sometimes we
okay,
are not able to supply the required
okay.
quantity also. So a lot of persons are taking interest in these activity,
Right,
especially that. Hmm. So
right.
that will be available. Only thing, if this is the season, if you are planning activity in North India, then this is the season for the barsim and oat.
Okay,
So if you are taking intervention on barsim and oat, that seed will be available.
got it, got it.
So The based on the habitat, we have several designed several type the options for the rocky and poor soil, which grass and which legume to follow. If the soil is sandy, what legume and what grass to follow. And so, based on these systems, we can means increase our productivity of the our pastures.
This is
You will
very
see
valuable
that
slide actually. This is very valuable information. Yes.
actually,
Yes.
you will see that whatever the species is working in means sandy soil may not work in that black soil. Isn't
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You see, if the Sancrus is a prominent species in the conditions of the Rajasthan, may not be suitable for the black soils of so that species selection is actually based on the climate condition. There is a distinct grass cover in India, in different type of the agroecological condition, different grass covers are existing. So we cannot say that one grass can serve whole of the nation. It's not possible. It's highly climate dependent, and you know, so there are a lot of variations is there. And thing is that all these grasses have improved varieties available with us.
So
Whatever
these are
is grown.
native grasses of that region, but you have improved upon them.
Huh, yeah, exactly. These are the native grasses. Through plant breeding techniques, improved varieties has been developed. And you will see our grasses are so tall that even that human can may not be visible in that, but they are grasses. So, and what that natural species is existing, we have taken that species and through several breeding techniques, a improved variety of that grass has been developed and that seed is available. So based on that grass cover, how much animal that grass will land will support will also differ. Isn't it? So in some grass the production potential is higher, in some grass covers the production potential is less. Generally, this synchronous based system are highly productive system. So the essential techniques start with the field preparation, light soil working you can do, and the seed requirement is around 5 kg per hectare for grass and 5 kg, 6 kg per hectare for the legumes. है ना? Sowing is generally done by broadcasting or by line sowing, and the preferred season is the onset of the before onset of the rainy season, and initially basal application of certain nitrogen and phosphorus can also be made. So if you come to grazing,
Yes. This is a very important subject for us
so
because
actually,
we want to learn how to
lot,
manage these, you know.
actually, if you means a simple logic, if we will on same piece of land, we will repeatedly send animal for grazing. Naturally, over the time, that will be degraded. So
Exactly. Exactly.
So, based on two means the basic principle in this system is that you give some time to the grass to regenerate. So that's based on keeping that in mind. This has been developed. So, for example, one important and most common system is rotational system. Means if you have 1 hectare of P, 1 hectare of the land, try to divide it in four parts. And in four blocks. So first you send animals for to block two, then block three. If then you will send to block two, this block will be closed for the regeneration. Then two will be closed. We will go to third, and then when third is complete, then we will go to four, and then we will come to one. So that way you will be able to give at least 15 days time to each block to regenerate. है It's a very simple system. Only you need to rotate the animals, organize your means organized grazing, and you rotate the animals, and this will greatly enhance the productivity. But in natural grasslands, this is not possible. This need a community participation.
Exactly. Yes.
If otherwise a lot of people will come and fight with you that we will know, we will raise, we will. But if community is aware and that is managing by simple intervention, they can increase their productivity. So in deferred that is a slight variation of that rotational, that is deferred rotational grazing. So that animals will not be allowed for grazing in block 1 during the growth period in the first year. Means here slight improvement means if the animal block 1 is during the growing stage, then we will completely defer it. We will rotate during these, and then next year we will defer this block, then we will defer this block. So if we will complete 1 year to the grass in that block, then grass will be fully developed. It will be in seeding also, and means that will be well established. So that is relative improvement of that rotational system. Here the one block we keep deferred and rotate. Here the in this system, in continuous system, the animal may graze all whole block every day or at a time. With rotation means there here the rotation is fast. In rotational system, we are giving time about 15 days time. Here the time given is 1 or 2 days for the each block. Here also the regeneration will be less, but is more practicable compared to that rotational system. In rotational system, the management issue is main, and the best system is this cut and carry system. Here, animals are not allowed to enter in the grasslands. Only means that community defines that during first block you can take and carry head load whatever you can carry, and then you feed to your animal at home. You know,
But
for
sir,
that,
you're calling it the better system, but the problem is that the cow dung and the cow urine, which the grasslands will get if the cows are grazing, will be missing from this system, right?
that is there, but that we can introduce means spread or in that. But the thing is that in this system, the damage if your focus is on that system management, then this system is more sustainable. Means, if you are sending the cows, then follow the rotational system. If somehow you can
Yes,
you are not means if you are able to follow rotational system, if free
yes,
range actually the what my message is that free range grazing condition is highly dangerous to the pastures.
true, true.
If it is controlled grazing means managed grazing, it's okay. But
Yes,
doing managed grazing in field condition is a little bit difficult.
yes. So basically, we have to
Everywhere we'll
graze
say
and
that community.
not.
I'm saying that if you are allowing grazing, then it should be controlled grazing.
Definitely, sir,
Means
definitely.
the free range grazing condition. Huh, free
So
range
unplanned
grazing
grazing will lead
condition
to more
is
problems, right? Because actually, then it
but
becomes gazing and
thing is that
overgazing.
no overgrazing. So, but this the condition is that in whole of the India, free range grazing is the most common condition. Managed
Yes,
grazing is very less.
yes,
So that's why we straightway tell that you follow cut and carry system. Otherwise, you will not be able to manage grazing. Ne?
yeah, true, true. true.
That is the issue. So message is
Yes,
that we need to give certain time to regenerate.
yes,
And
exactly. Yes,
grass is not that miracle that every day it will rise 1 feet above. It
right.
also need it time. So
Absolutely.
that is my message. So we will see during that productions means expected production potential of different systems. If you will see that once there is certain type of checks in the grazing, the production potential goes to five to six, seven, you know, times higher compared to the natural grazing. Natural grazing, if the system, if pasture is left for the nature, means unmanaged grazing, free range grazing, then production potential comes around 1 ton per hectare. But if it is managed and that grazing is controlled, then this production potential again increased to 4 to 5 systems. And besides this, there is benefit of litter also, which you were taking that. So just before sometimes I was talking that we have certain distinct grass covers in India. During the sub-mountain region, there is Themeda arundinella grass cover. In certain areas, this is Phragmites saccharum imperator grass cover. In our region, in Jhansi region, this is the Dichanthium synchros lacerus, means in arid and semi-arid type region, and in our Jhansi region, this is Sahima Dichanthium systems are more prominent. So these are the means prominent grass covers different parts of the India. So based on this grass cover, you will see the species during that cover will be synchronous with these covers. Another issue in this grassland and pastures is the bush controls. Over the time, if you will see, lot of unwanted, unpalatable bushes enters in that grass grasslands. You will see that in this lantana is such a obnoxious species that it has entered to every grassland. Prosopis julipro. I have entered in lot of grassland. I've seen in South India there is hundreds of the hectares of the land infected by the prosopis. है So that aspect is also important to remove the unwanted bushes. And that method can be manually. We can remove that by chemically also. We can remove it, but chemical use of chemicals is relatively less recommended since it may harm the animals also. So manual removal of these bushes is more preferred. Another important species that which I was talking about, there is need to protect that grasslands. So certain areas, if you will see, that community itself has erected the stone wall fencing, or they have a ditch has been digged, or certain areas you will see the protection through angle iron. And above all, the better, one of the most better option is live hedge fencing. Live hedge fencing, we plant certain tree species which are less palatable to the animal and that act as the live fence. And for that, this bamboo is also very popular. Even prosopis can be used. Agave species can also be used. There are certain species which act as, or you can that cactus can also be used. So that way there is no damage to environment, no damage to grassland, no damage to the livestock. So live fence system one of the better system. but that take time. This live fencing may take 2 3 years to develop. So that's why this system you will find less. Generally, mm, people go for the stone wall fencing and iron or cement fencing. So if you are harvesting it, then means if it is in cut and carry system, then I tell that you need to give certain time to the regenerate. For that, if you are able to give 60 days interval, it will be good. And in that, in our earlier systems, what we discussed the tree component also prominently, and I told you that several tree components are introduced in the silvi-pasture and techniques and the horticulture techniques, and you see important species that of MPTS means multi-purpose tree species. These are Acacia alvigea, and Hardwickia and Lucina species and Sesbania species. So after few years of growth, their product production potential also uh, given here. And if you see in certain tree species, they are also giving pods. Means these pods can also be a potent and good fodder for the livestock.
So, do you also keep seeds for trees, fodder trees?
Which one?
Do you also sell fodder tree seeds?
Actually, you need we certain fodder crop fodder tree seed we also have. We will be providing that. Actually, in Jhansi condition, we are using this Suba wool and
Hmm.
Sasvenia and Hardwickia. So that we can provide.
Okay. Okay.
Otherwise, we can take other species from the
Regional
uh,
stations.
local nursery, forest department nursery.
Okay.
And again for seed also, it is recommended to raise the nursery instead of
Yes.
directly sowing the for
Yes.
tree seed. It is better,
Yes.
always better to follow the nursery system. And in
Right.
that, the survival is higher. So various type of the degradation, land degradation we discussed earlier, and we have developed several systems for these degraded land systems, and the other system is basically combination of the tree, grass, and legume. If it is hot desert condition, then there's Gigi first means bear. Bear is one of the common fruit plant we can use along with the grass of Lacerus Cenchrus, Cenchrus ciliaris, and Cenchrus ciliaris, that is onion grass, and Cenchrus satigerus, that is dhamal grass. And among the legumes, it is Atelacea and Clitoria.
Very beautifully summed up, sir. Thank you. And thank you so much for for your time and all the valuable inputs you have shared with us today.
So, yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.